Hello everyone, this is Ravindra. Today we're going to discuss IDOC adapter. So IDOC adapter is used to extract the data or get the messages from your ECC or SAP source systems. Basically, for example, you have one SAP system. Say, for example, S/4HANA. So you have your business data, like we have, say, for example, material master. Then we have customer master. We have purchase orders. We have sales orders. So these are all business documents. When you want to exchange between your S/4HANA and another SAP system, or it can be non-SAP, right? So this can be PIPO or say, for example, CRM system, APO system, right? Can be anything like normally, say, for example, I'll take this as a ECC and this is S/4HANA or S/4HANA to S/4HANA, say. So we want to exchange the data one system to another system. So normally when they communicate, they use a protocol called RFC. And here SAP also speaks in RFC language, remote function call. And there is a link created between this RFC and this RFC. The transfer of the data will be happening within the RFC protocol. And within the S/4HANA system, whenever you're using the IDOC method of transferring the data, so the technology which is being used for generation of IDOC and setup of this will be your ALE. ALE is a framework what we're going to use it. ALE is known as application link enabling, right? So what we do is ALE will generate one IDOC, right? So this is known as your intermediate document. Now it can be from your database. Say, for example, normally whenever you create a material or a customer or PO, the data will be stored in your database tables. And there is an outbound program, right? So which will try to fetch the data from your database tables. Then according to your partner profiles and distribution model, then it tries to create one IDOC and send the data to the sender. So within this, the data IDOC is a container for your data or message, right? The message data will be stored in your intermediate document, which is a carrier of the data. And this IDOC flows to your SAP system. And here also we'll be having ALE. And we try to get this particular IDOC, receive it. And using your inbound program, we try to put this into your database table. Okay. So we'll just go through like normally what is this IDOC and how this has been generated and how to set up this particular IDOC. In order to generate this IDOC, what configuration is required, that we'll try to see it. And when it comes to your non-SAP system, so then output will be your RFC, how it will be sent to the system. Then we use a middleware software like your SAP CPI. Here in our example, we'll be using your SAP CPI in order to connect from SAP to this. and your CPI will be connecting to your non-SAP system like your Salesforce. Now I take this data in IDOC. So for example, I can create one iFlow. I'll create an iFlow, right? I receive this IDOC into the SAP system. Then the message will be transferred to your IDOC. There I can do some transformation of the data. Then I try to send this to the output of this. That is your non-SAP system. I can send it. So fine then. So what we'll do is we'll see the steps how to receive, right? So how to receive the IDOC from a SAP source system into your SAP CS, SAP CPS system. Fine. Okay. So first, what we need to do is we'll try to create iFlow in CPI system. Okay. So either you can set up in the ERP system, then come to CPI, or you can just do it in the CPI system also. Then after that, go to ERP system. Fine. So I'll be just taking up from cloud integration system. So create an iFlow in the cloud integration system and generate a URL or URI, uniform resource interface. Then what do we do is find that. So let me first create one iFlow within the CPI system. Then what we need to do is we need to download the certificates of your CPI tenant. Okay. Download certificates from your cloud integration or CPI tenant. And upload these documents, these certificates into S/4HANA. Right? Into your S/4HANA, we're going to load this. The transaction is trust. Cool. Now, before going to the iFlow also, what we can do is we will discuss about normally how this particular IDOC, right? That is also being done. Or let me finish this. Okay. Cool. So let me take in a sales package. I'm going to create a new iFlow here. Let me go to edit. So the steps which are normally required in this, I just written here step by step. First, you'll create one iFlow in your CPI and download the certificates and upload it in transaction as trust. So come to edit mode, go to integration flow, give the name of the iFlow. For example, cloud integration iFlow, cloud integration underscore IDOC underscore iFlow. SAP S/4HANA to SAP CPI cloud integration. Now click on add and open in editor. Now go to edit, select the sender and choose the adapter as IDOC. Now select the IDOC adapter. Then go to the connections tab and within the address, I'll give this as IDOCs. And authorization is user role USB message.send. So here the address important. It is important for us to know the address here. It is /IDOCs. Now first thing is fine. Then conditions it's standard. Don't make any changes. Only give this as /IDOCs. Then in this you can create a content modifier. Give this as IDOC message body. So after this, we can keep the data. Then after that, if you want to transfer the data from here to a persistent object, then you can click on plus and go to this write operation. Write data from S/4HANA. Go to processing. In the documents, I'll go for S/4HANA underscore IDOCs is my data store name. And visibility, I will set it as global. And by default, if I'm not entering any entity entry ID, it will take the body data by default. Now, in order to little bit format this particular XML message, then what I will do is I'll take one XSLT style sheet to just only format the XML data. So I'll take here as XSLT mapping. This, so let me keep it up near to this. Right. So IDOC setup is completed. Okay. The IDOC setup for us is completed from here. Now click on, sorry, this iFlow setup is completed. No XSLT not added the code. So let me paste the code for the formatting of your XML data. Now save it. Deploy. So once it is done, click outside the area of your iFlow. Then you find the properties of the iFlow, go to deployment status, navigate to manage integration content. Just refresh. Now The endpoint URL is being generated. Just copy this and I'll put it to Notepad. So here, for your RSA destination, you'll be requiring the host name up to this, and the resource address has to be given in your RSA destination S/4HANA. So for this, I need the URL of this particular iFlow. Okay. So once this part is done, next what you need to do is you need to go to your website address here, your CPI address. Now click on the view site information. Then go to, say, for example, site is secure and certificate is valid. Now click on this. Then go to the details. Here you find 3 certificates. So 1, 2, and last is your digital cert global root sheet. So then you can click on export. You see your base 64 encoded and click on save. So already I saved this in the downloads folder, right? So 3 documents you can save it here. Say in the desktop, let me go to CPI. So within this, say certificates. Now I'll try to save this. Second one, click on export. Again, save this. And third, go to export and click on save. Right. So under the desktop, to the CPI. So I'll be having the certificates. Now 3 certificates are there. So I used for SMTP here. So I'll just totally remove the certificates and let me paste it again. Certificate 1, certificate 2. Just going different address. And download the certificate also. Okay, so now 3 certificates are downloaded. Now what we need to do is we need to upload this certificates within your S/4HANA. So let's go to S/4HANA, log into your S/4HANA. Within this, go for the transaction, S-Trust. Then select this folder, SSL client anonymous. Double click on this. So already I have uploaded the certificates, but I'm showing the procedure how to do it. So just come down, go to change mode and click on this button, import certificate. Go back to the folder of desktop. Now that certificates has to be copied into your local folder. So I have copied this into this remote system, say for example under logs. So this is one certificate and click on enter and click on allow. So it will be added here, right? So it will be added in the certificate. After that, you need to click on add to certificate list, right? It will be there. Certificate already exists. In the same way, you need to upload 2 more certificates. Click on enter, allow, just come down. This is second certificate. Now click on add to certificate list. And the third one, root certificate. Just scroll down. right? This is your global root certificate. Click on add to certification list. Fine. Now, once this step is completed, then what we need to do is we need to, we'll try to go for creating your RFC destination. But normally, let's go for a small discussion again. So up to this, we completed the steps. One is we created iFlow within your cloud integration. Second, download the 3 certificates from your cloud integration tenant and upload these certificates in the S4HANA S-Trust. Say, for example, if you want to send material from, for example, in your S4HANA, I want to exchange a material, then material will be stored in a table. That is your Mara table, right? In Mara table, you have your data available here. Now, within ALE concept, application link enable technology, what we do is it requires, normally the style of this is we need to generate, for example, whenever you want to send a message, and there'll be different versions of messages, right? Say, for example, previously your Mara table in SAP R by 3, for example, there are some 100 fields or 200 fields are there. And SAP ECC, there are 230 fields. And SAP S4 HANA, there may be some 250 fields. So as the version improvement keeps going, sometimes there may be addition of extra fields in each version. So my message document also has to be versioned up. So basically, in your S4 HANA, we'll be creating one container for this that is known as your message type. Now this message type for material is known as your matmas. M-A-T-M-A-S. Matmas is your main message type. So within this particular message type, this is used to generate an IDOC. Now this is the main subject area for me. For material, it is matmas. Now, after creating this message type, inside this particular message type, or normally what we do is we try to create IDOC type, which is a basic type. Basic type or IDOC type. In IDOC type, we try to create the structure of the fields, how you're going to, what fields you're going to transfer from your table, right? So there'll be an outbound program which will be taking the data and normally populating that IDOC. But for that, according to what structure, an outbound program requires some structure of this particular data to be sent. For that, we're going to create one IDOC type. So this in old version, it may be matmas 01, and the new version of, for example, ECC, it can be some IDOC type is matmas 02. So some extra fields may be there within this. Like this, there are different versions of your material structures. So like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, matmas 06, for example. Now this may have some 200 field structure in this. Now this all IDOC type belongs to, has to be assigned to one group, that is your matmas type. So for creating your message type, we need to go to the transaction called WE81. And in order to create an IDOC structure, the T code is WE30. And in order to assign this particular mat mask to this particular mat mask 06 to the mat mask, the T code is WE82, right? This a developer does this. So only thing is I'm just giving you some glimpse idea on how these things are created in your ERP system. And say, for example, mat mask is WE81. Say, for example, let's go to this. Go to the transaction code WE81 and enter. This is a cross client. Now, when I go to the position and I want to find out mat mask, then click on the enter. You find here mat mask here. For example, for customer, it is deb mask. Just click on enter. You find customer master data distribution. So this is deb mask. So if you want to create a new type of document to be sent, then you can click on create new entry and give the what type of document name you want to send this. This even custom documents also you can create one group. Message type is nothing but a group. Now go back. So once this is created, message type is created, then need to go to W30 and check the IDOC types here. For example, when I give star matmas star again, give star matmas star, click on search. I can see that there is matmast 01, 02, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is for what advanced additional fields for advanced planning and enhancement of metal master segment relevant tables in 06. So like this, there'll be multiple versions of your matmas. So let's say matmas 01. Let's take this and click on the display button. And you can see the structure of your metal master general data. There is E1 MARA-M, and it is going to extract the data from the table, MARA table. And the text segment, so this is all known as your segments. So this is your root segment, and this is your child segment, parent segment, child segment, like this, we can take it up. And this is your metal master short text. Long, for example, long text and short text can be retrieved from your MAKT table. Plant data information, right? Then warehouse information. Then we have got MARC, MARD. Then after that, metal master unit of measures. Then European article number. Then MBW, right? There is a material valuation data. So the text data, long text header. So MBKE, sales data. So these are all the tables from where the data should be populated into this particular structures. Cool. So this is one structure for matmas 01. And if you go for matmas 07 and click on display again for the structure, now click on this. I can see that MAKT here. Then in Mark C only, there was only one entry for Mark D, one entry was there. Only this was there in 01, but you can see that there are some additional fields which are there like product group, forecast parameter, forecast value. And when you double click on this, you can find out the attribute for this. Say, for example, is it a mandatory field to be supplied? And how many occurrences of this particular can be there? Is it a one time? And what is 1:1 means it is only one time it can repeat it, or it can be having multiple times. Any parent segment is there because this is itself is a root. Then what is a parent segment? What is the hierarchy of this? Okay. And if I click on this one, unit of measure or material valuation, I can see that minimum number is this, multiple entries, but it's not mandatory. And the hierarchy level is this, and the parent for this is E1 MARM. Right. So we'll be understanding, like when I'm going to receive my IDOC within the cloud integration iFlow, then this is a structure of the fields what I'll be receiving it, right? Any changes, then you can make it here and adjust the programs, right? Okay. For us, how to see the structure of your IDOC for a particular basic type or IDOC type that we can view from W30 important transaction. Then after that, when the single IDOC types you created of the latest version like matmas 08 you created, and you want to assign this to the matmas main message type, then WE82 and go to matmas. So you can see that this matmas and this is the main matmas. Then after that, basic type you are assigning to this particular group. So these all groups we just assign. IDOC types assigned to this particular group here. Okay, sounds good. So multiple IDOC types will be assigned to one message type. So this is done within the T code called W82. Fine, cool. So within the system, so we have seen that. So from this material master, this is our original structure, outbound program. Okay, this is what we have. So we'll go for matmas 06. We want to use this structure, IDOC fields from the main parent matmas. And in order to send the data to your external system, so we need to maintain some other parameters. Configuration has to be done. So for that, one is we need to create in your ERP system. First, we need to create one logical system, right? So we don't want to refer always the main system ID parameters, everything, and also with a nickname, like we'll give one alias name to your system. Say, for example, we want to speak to the cloud integration system, right? So I will call my logical system as cloud integration system. So this is my target system, and I'm going to create one logical system here, right? Now this can be done in creation of logical system can be done in the transaction T code, sale. From here you can navigate. Otherwise you can go for BD54, right? So we created one. We have to create one logical system. Now for this logical system, now in order to generate an IDOC, then it has to be um, sent through a port. So then we need to send one port details also here. So here we require one port. And for this logical system, right? For this logical system, I want to create one profile. This is known as your partner profile. So we need to create one partner profile. So in this partner profile, so we try to set, right? We try to set now what is the, say for example, for your CI system, for the CI system, now what type of message types you going to distribute? Say for example, it is matmas, it is debmas, and say for example, it is orders. Now your profile has got like roles. Now what particular message type we can send or he is supposed to receive. So in the partner profile, so there are two types of message types. One is your outbound. Outbound, what means what message type we can send to him, and after that inbound. So what he can receive. So when I'm going to receive it, then this particular thing is going to be inbound. So we'll concentrate on outbound only. All right, fine. Now the technicality for this is this cloud integration system. The partner profile, we're going to specify that matmas, debmas, and these are the message types what you're going to transfer there. And secondly, in the port, so normally the main thing in the port, what we try to give is your RFC destination. In the port, how to reach this particular logical system, right? So how to reach your cloud integration system. This connectivity has to be done physically. Fine. So this is, I'll give it as cloud integration port. I'll give it as CA port. And to this particular iFlow, so because we just created for a particular iFlow that he can receive this multiple documents, we created an RFC destination here. And within the cloud integration, so we will attach your CI port also inside this. What port are you going to use it? For example, I'm going to send a debmus, then this is going to use which port? And through which port it is going to go, and CA port will give the RFC destination. From here, we can just send the document to that. Cool. So your RFC destination, for example, your port will be your W20 and partner profile is your W21. Okay. So here, when I go for W20, is your partner profile, right? Sorry, this partner profile is W20 and this is W21. This I'm cross-checking, fine. So we need to go to, say first we need to create a port. So after creating a port, then we'll be creating the partner profile. So what is the flow here? First, we need to create RF's destination. After that, we can create a port. And after that, we'll create your partner profile. Fine. So let us go for configuration of this particular RF's destination. Then after that, port. Then after that, your partner profile. So once this is done, then what we need to do is we need to go for your distribution plan. What that distribution type you're going to create it. So that is you have to go to your transaction called BD64. In this, we specify what is a sending system partner profile and what is the receiving system partner profile and what type of document we're going to distribute it, right? For example, matmas. So for sending your IDOCs and generating your IDOCs, we need to have this particular maintenance of this particular system also. So that is, say, for example, that is within your, so you create iFlow and the CPI is done, download certificates, this practicality we've done it. Then after that, we can go for creating a logical system using your BD54. Then we can create an RFC destination in SM59. Then we need to create a port that is an XML HTTP port using W21 and partner profile is W20 and modeling and implementation business process for creating your model and giving the distribution type, then we'll be creating BD64. And finally, whenever you want to send the document message or the material data, then we can go for BD10. For customer, the program is or transaction code is BD12. So for matmas, we'll be using BD10. So for example, when everything is done, setup is done, we go for BD10. So this is send a material and you can choose a material from the list. For example, LI01, say, and you need to give the message type. Now, what type of message type is it? Matmas, and what is the logical system to which you need to send it, right? What is the target system you want to send, I guess. So let us do this setup now. So we have uploaded the certificates. Next, let's go for RFC destination. So the whole setup of this IDOC can be done within the transaction code called sale. Go to transaction code called sale. It is IDOC interface or application link enable settings can be done within this application. So within this, go to basic settings, logical system, define logical system. Now let's click on this time icon, that is execute. The table is cross client, enter. Now here we need to create one logical system here. Say for example, we'll click on new entry and I'll give this as SAP Cloud Integration System. And I'll give the same name for this logical name, SAP CI system. Here is the text, so I can give this as SAP CI system and save it. Then it will be asking for a request number. You can click on this create button for a new request. This is a transport request, so transport request for IDOC. Say give any description and click on the save button. It will generate one request ID for transport. That is for transportation, not required now. Just click on enter. So here your logical system is being created. Okay, this is your SAP CA system. Okay, syst is there. System has not been added. So what I'll do is I'll delete it. Okay. Let me create a new one. Or I can give it as CI underscore system. Cloud integration system is the username. And CI system is the description. And click on save. Let's make simple like CI system. And this is your CI system here. Okay. So once you have saved it, now go back. So in this step, we have defined a logical system and assign logical system to client. This is normally required when you're trying to do with SAP system, but for your cloud integration, this step not required. So you can just neglect this. Then go to communication. Within this, you can go to RFC connection. Now we're going to create an RFC destination. Mean to say that from S/4HANA, you're going to connect to the iFlow, right? So click on RFC destination. And we're going to talk to an external server. That is type G, HTTP connection to external server. Click on create and give the RFC destination name. For example, I'll give it as CI underscore system underscore RFC. Now the type of RFC, you have to take it as G type and click on enter. Let's take the technical name and fill the description here. You can keep any name, fine. Now in this, we need to copy the host of your cloud integration and the port. So the host name is this. So let us copy this and first paste in the path prefix here. Because if you try to paste this host ID directly, some part of the data will be pasted here. It doesn't go directly into this, right? So only some part of the data is copied here. So sales sub up to RT, right? Up to RT, it is copied. RT dot, it is copied. So you can, after the dot, you can just remove it. Or where is RT, and please stop here. So after that, you can remove this. Now you will not be able to paste it directly, so I'll just type it manually. CF apps.us10 us10 hyphen 001 dot hana dot on demand dot com. So this is your host name, and the port you need to give it as 443. This is standard port, we'll give it. And now in the path prefix, you need to take this as /cxf /idocs, right? /cxf/idocs. So the the host name, port, and your path prefix has to be specified in the technical settings. Just come down. If you have your proxy settings, you can give it. Otherwise, just leave it. Now go to the logon and security. So within the logon and security, you can go to the basic authentication. And within the basic authentication, I'll try to give my cloud integration username and password. That is your BTP username and password. BW underscore, I give it as Ravi at the rate yahoo.com. This is my account name and string. Fine. So I given my BTP username and password, or you can give your client ID and secret also from your BTP. Okay. That is, say, for example, you can go to your BTP and go to your integration flow instance. And within the integration flow instance, you can take the key from here, say cross integration. Then you can create a key here, service key. For example, click on create. So already there is a key, but just I'm showing you, just you can take a key and supply the key. Okay, you can take your client ID and secret from here. And if you don't want to use this client ID and secret, then what you need to do is you need to go to your security users, and within the security, go for role collection and create a new role collection. In order to allow the tenant, your BTP username and password as a role. Go to role collection. Within the role collection, what I have done is, for example, ESBs. So I created one role collection here. If you click on create, it'll ask for username and it'll be asking a name and after that a description. So it is your ESB send what I created. And in this, go to edit. And when you go for the role name, so for example, message. So you need to select when you type here as search for message. So you'll be getting a message called message send. You need to select that and add it. And after that, you need to go to your users in the ID here, put as BW. You'll get your BW underscore user. So this particular role collection will be using this particular role and assign this role to your BW underscore yahoo.com, this user, right? Now you can save it. So once this is set, then you can use your BTP username and password directly within this basic authentication. Fine. So I just done it. So once this step is done, come down. Then within the security options, so previously we have set up this SSL client for anonymous, but it is showing for this that SSLT PSC default does not exist as a warning. So you need to just enter, that warning goes off. Then after that, you will be able to select this, and we have uploaded the client certificates to this particular node, that is your anonymous SSL client. Now, once this is done, now what you need to do is click on save, then click on connection test. So connection test may fail despite a connection being possible, right? It is fine. So now click on this and you will get an HTTP response status as 500. Fine. So once we created this RFC destination, means we are able to connect from our S/4HANA system to your cloud integration iFlow, right? So up to iFlow, I'm trying to give this. Next, after doing this, we need to go for creating your port. So for creating a port, I'll be going to say, for example, transaction WE20, WE21, 21 is for your port, right? You know what we need to do is we need to create one XML port. Okay, so we need to create one XML port for this. So in order to create this XML port, let us click on create, and the logical system name, what we have given in the previous step, say define logical system. So we not put down this, say for example, if we are given it as CA underscore system. So I'll give the port name as CA underscore system, and description also is the same thing. Now in the port, we need to just give what is my distance, what is my reach. So click on the button here and give it as, say for example, we name this as CA underscore system underscore RFC, and select this as application slash x hyphen sap.idoc, and click on this as SOAP protocol, and we need to click on save. So this is the port information. So in the port mainly we'll try to give what is how to reach this destination and what type of content I need to uh, send, then in which version you're going to do it, and what type of protocol is being used up here. So once this setup is done, then let's go to the partner profile, that is WE20. And we need to create a partner profile for logical system LS. So within this, select this, click on create, and the partner profile is for CA underscore system. And the partner type, you can select this as LS logical system. This partner profile is for this particular logical system. And click on the type as a user who is going to initiate this. Then the agent, I can give some username. Say I'll give it as ABAP1. And this particular partner should receive what type of messages. That is your outbound and inbound, as I told you, there'll be, but we're going to send the outbound messages. So go to the change button. And within this, click on the plus button here. And within this, we're going to specify that this particular partner is going to receive, say, for example, message type. We're going to give this as matmas. Select this as matmas. So there'll be multiple matmas. Say, we'll give some more number and search for matmas. Click on the plus button again. So like this, you can search out. There'll be multiple other formats, but what we require is directly a material master, that is your matmas, or you can type it directly here, no problem. Then after that, the receiving port is, you can select this as your CI system. And now, are you going to collect this IDOCs and keep in the queue, or are you going to pass this IDOCs immediately to the cloud integration system? So we'll take this as pass IDOCs immediately. And within the IDOC type, you can specify, say, for example, give it as matmas star and click on this. You find your basic type or IDOC types within this. We are going to take it as matmas 6. You can take 7 also fine. If you don't want planning, then I'll just neglect that. So let me take as matmas 6. Now click on save. So go back. And for example, you want to send the customer data also. For example, the partner should be able to take the customer data also. Now click on this and go for debmas. And the receiving port is the same port. Through the same port, we're going to send it, CI underscore system, pass IDOCs immediately. Then after that, we can go for debmas and click on star and just click on this. And we got debmas 08, for example. I'll take this one latest. For debmas, the IDOC type will be this one. Fine. Now click on save. Go back. So we created one logical system also here. The next step is we can go back to your transaction sale, right? So within the sale transaction, so now what you want to do is we'll go for creating a model view. So within the sale, you can come to modeling and implementation business process. This is, we're going to go for business transaction BD64, right? Or you can come to this and click on this maintain distribution model and distribution view. Just click on this. And here you need to create a model. So let us go to change mode. Then we'll go for creating a model view. And this I'll be making it as a, for example, IDOC underscore CI model, cloud integration model, models. And there's a description of this. And say I give it as IDOC underscore CI mod and click on enter, right? IDOC underscore CA is a model. And after that, you can click on add message type to this model. What type of message you should receive it. So I tell the sender is the local logical system, that is AH4CLNT, A4HCLNT, and the receiver system is your CI system. This is the logical system name for receiving, that is your cloud integration system. And the message type is matmust is one we're going to distribute. Fine. We're going to receive, we can distribute this. And again, click on this and go for the sender as this and the receiver as your CI underscore system. And this is debmas as your customer message type. So material and customer for the time being, I'm going to distribute it, right? Now click on save. Done, guys. So once you've done this distribution model, then let's go back to the program. That is your BD10. Enter. From here, you can select your material, which you want to distribute. I'll take this as, say, for example, chases is a material and message type. Select it as matmas and logical system. Let's take as CA underscore system. So these are the 3 parameters which we can pass to this particular send material. Now, when just execute this, one master IDOC setup for this message type is being executed. Enter. And one communication IDOC generated for message type matmast. So now, so once it is done, now once this IDOC is generated and it is sent to the output or not, that we need to check. For that, we can go to the transaction code called WE02 and enter and click on refresh. Now you can see that it is successfully sent. Now IDOC number 1009, and the IDOCs has got segments like control segment, and it has got your data record segments. Now this is the IDOC type, and you have right the data what is being sent in this. For example, when I click on this, you can see the material number is chases, and you can see all the information of this structure in this one. All right. Under the children one, then you can see material number chases, and right, and this will have your status record. If it is successfully passed, now it has as 03, right? So 03 is good, and you have different other side IDOC created, and IDOC passed to the port. Okay, it is sent up the port. From port, RFC destination is going to send to the destination using your intermediate document, right? So error during your interchange handling, then it will be 09. So status will change first. So this is the main IDOC structure, what you will be seeing. This, and it is successfully sent there. Now, for as a path, now we need to check in our system now. So let me go to this. So before this, sending this particular document, I can go to the status here for CI flow status and set this into the trace mode, right? We can set this to trace mode and keep it ready. And next time when you send it, then you can go to monitor. Then within this, we can see the logs, and from there, we can send there. Fine. So now what we will do is we will go to your monitor and go to your integration and APIs. And because we have created one data source for this, so we need to see your data store. So data store is being created, and the name of the data store is S4HANA IDOCs. And now, yeah, you can see that there is a message which is being created. It means we received this IDOC. And when you click on download, so yes, you can double click on this and go to the body. I'll select this with a notepad. So let me open this in a notepad. Now you see that this is the IDOC, what we have seen, right? This is the IDOC which has been retrieved. Okay. MatMouse 06, this is the IDOC structure, which we received this. And that's good, fine, right? So that is once we get this IDOC within the system, sorry. And later, if you want to send this to your target system, then you can create. So what we've done is we have structures, this using XSLT mapping for better getting up the structure. So then after that, it has been stored in your IDOCs data from S4HANA. Now, for example, if I want to send now, this is your metal data, and I want to send now customer data, for example. So let's go for BD12. And now make the customer, say, for example, 2020. So there are a list of customers. So I'm taking one customer out of this, right? So there is in Raj Exports 2010. So or 2020. So I'll take this as a 220 is your, say, for example, customer 2020. Now we can take the output type as DebMus and logical system as CA system. And customer sends this document to your cloud integration. So when I execute, so one master IDOC setup is done and one communication doc is being generated for your message type. And when I click on enter, now let me check in my monitor and go to integration and APIs. Then go to your data store. Now I got one more doc. So when I click on this and go to download, Click on download now. So reading any content from the story session no longer valid. Okay, we'll just refresh. And now even this, when you go for refresh, we got this one and downloaded this, and you can double click on this, go to body and double click on the notepad. So when I go to the notepad now this is your debmas08 and this is your IDOC DC40 and client ID, document number of this particular IDOC created, that is 1010. So for that, you can go to W02 and when you execute it, and you can see that it's W02, right? So this is what is being generated, and you have got your document status here, which has been sent here. Cool, guys. This is 1010. Cool. So this is your debmas08 and the IDOC number is 1010 and in our cloud integration system, so we have stored this as 1010 and your Gunnar, say control F here, this is your customer number, right? Gunnar, this is 220 and what is his country, what is his name, fine. So what is organization? So everything you find it just within this one. So I'm using uh, the setup so that we can send multiple types of documents, message types to your cloud integration. Okay, guys. So that's it for the day. And thanks for the session. See you. Bye-bye.